Hi, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I just put my book out on Amazon. It's called Bike Chase. The designer of the cover finished the work yesterday, so I was able to upload the book cover. So, so now I'd like to read you the first chapter of my book, just so that you might get interested in buying it. Right. Chapter 1. The Invite. Thursday, 9:20 a.m., Los Angeles. With a cup of coffee in one hand and a newspaper in the other, Ethan heard a click at the front door. It was the post, and there was an unusual sounding thud hitting the mat below. He got out of his comfy space, an overused beanbag that rested in the lounge with an open space kitchen. Two tall bookshelves housed bike magazines, novels, and wellness books, while cycling trophies were displayed above an electric fireplace. On the adjacent wall hung a vintage world map, an old bicycle wheel, and various tournament photographs. Ethan walked down the hallway toward the front door, leaving the scent of roasted coffee lingering from his cup, blended with a faint smell of rubber and polished metal drifting through an open door from the back garden. Bending down, he noticed a letter that stood out from the rest. A large rusty brown envelope, unusually stamped with red wax. I wonder what this is. He opened it eagerly, intrigued by its unique design, slicing through the cheese-soft wax and peering inside. To Mr. Ethan Maddox and Miss Saint Starling, you are formally invited to participate in an exclusive and highly anticipated cycling event unlike any other. The Cape Wraith Invitational Bicycle Race, held in the remote and ragged highlands of Scotland. This is no ordinary race. 100 hand-picked riders, treacherous terrain, a challenge designed to test the limits of human endurance. The reward are as follows. First place £50,000, second place £5,000, and third place £2,000. All travel and accommodation have been arranged by the event's mysterious benefactor. Enclosed, you will find your flight tickets, a detailed map to your lodging, and a pass granting access to the rider's exclusive quarters. Your host will be present at the welcome dinner, held at 7 p.m. sharp the evening before the race begins. The competition will commence at 10 a.m. on July 23rd near the foothills. Cape Wraith awaits. Pack lightly, ride swiftly, with anticipation, Malin. Ethan lived with his partner Saint in a split-level unit at the end of a quiet block, surrounded by well-kept hedges and maple trees. Both were three-time winners of the Canadian Invitational and were currently enjoying a year off from their run. "Hey Saint," Ethan shouts, "you won't believe what just fell through our door." Saint was upstairs, taking a bath in an old-fashioned clawfoot tub by the window, reclining beneath a cloud of bubbles. She rubbed her silky smooth legs with chamomile soap and hummed to herself. She heard Ethan shouting, but couldn't make it out. "What did you say, Ethan?" Ethan walked back, tossing the rest of the letters into the junk pile, still gripping the invite. He sat on a kitchen stool, aroma of his fresh ground coffee tapping at his nostrils, and turned on his laptop, the noise of its oscillating fan whirring softly. Saint came downstairs, drying her hair in a pink towel. She stood in the lounge, contrasted against the wall of the apartment that was exposed brick. It mounted a framed photo of their last win in Quebec, a moment with their arms held high. Ethan looked at her with a smile, holding up the letter. "We've been invited to a bicycle tournament. It's exclusive to only 100 people. Looks kind of mysterious, but the prize fund looks very appetizing. I've been trying to find the actual racecourse in Cape Wraith, but it only shows a village halfway up in the mountains." Saint walks closer. Could it be because it's newly built? Possibly, since it's not showing up on Google Maps. You won't believe the prize fund. Drum roll, it's £50,000. Saint's eyebrows shoot up. £50,000 is huge. I mean, the highest tournament prize money we've ever received is only £3,000 back in Canada. "So where is this Cape Wraith?" Saint asks excitedly. "It's in Scotland," Ethan replied. Everything paid for, the flight, the dinner, everything. It's in a week from now, so this gives us time to get our stuff ready. So who's organising it? Ethan picks up the invite and looks down again at the letter, his eyeballs trying to pinpoint the name. Some guy called Malin. Doesn't sound familiar, Saint frowned. You sure this is genuine? Ethan threw two plane tickets on the table. Do these look fake to you? Saint looked down, wide-eyed, spreading them apart with her fingers. Sure does look real, she says, a tinge of curiosity still etched on her face. Do you think they caught note of us winning the Canadian Invitational? Of course, said Ethan proudly. We won the tournament 3 times in a row. They would have seen us in the newspapers. Saint looks at Ethan, still raising his arms in the air through fond memories. Do you think Mindy and Richard could come? Unless they got an invite, which I doubt, said Ethan reluctantly. I think it's only exclusive to us and the other 98. To be honest, Mindy and Richard are not on our level. Saint puts on her leggings. Well, the prize fund that big, I'd expect harsh competition. Ethan smiles, admiring Saint's physique. Undoubtedly. But with our skill and talent, and with those thunderfires of yours, we should win this pretty easily. Ethan, other than being a bike champion, owned a small business on the side that he had taken over from his father, Billy Maddox, a bicycle manufacturer. His company was called Maddox Bikes, and he manufactured all kinds of bikes, from sleek racers to small kids' ones. The walls of his office were covered in old schematics, early frame blueprints, and photographs of prototype builds. He headed out of the shed in their small garden, a box-like space behind the apartment. The garden was cluttered with spare parts and chain-greased notebooks, bordered with clay flower pots and a homemade compost bin. Saint watched him from the kitchen window. This bike, one of a kind, light as a feather and fast as a bullet, Ethan said, made from a unique metal, mined by my grandfather's mining company, Donald Maddox Mining, back in the 1940s. Ethan proudly angled the bike as it glistened under the sunlight. A slimline design, razor-sharp gears, and very thin wheels made for cutting through wind like a blade. So far, we've won all our tournaments with this baby, says Ethan, and of course, with your one too, the Pink Destroyer. Saint, with a glint in her eye, rests her shoulders on the door frame, sipping her cup of coffee. Mark my words, Ethan says, looking up. We're going to get that 50,000. A glance of cunning between them. Can't wait, Saint says, looking back with a smile. The morning air faded. The coffee smell sank. Saint and Ethan wanted to be champions again. So, that's the first chapter of my book, and I hope you liked it. I did go through some editing, having read it a few times, and that was the final edit. I think it sounds okay, and it reads pretty well. So, as you can see, Ethan Maddox and Saint Starling got an invite to Scotland from somebody called Malin. What it entails, who knows, but it sounds mysterious. You won't guess what's going to happen. I don't think you would guess at all what's going to happen. But it sounds mysterious, and obviously they go on a journey. If perhaps I can read you again the second chapter, if there's any interest on my novel. So yes, my debut novel, Bike Chase, is out now on Amazon. So thank you for listening, and see you soon. Bye.